Hey, Kira, good morning to you.
Hi.
Let me mark you down here. Where are you? Yeah. Are you how are you, Kira? Are you ready for the break? Are you excited for the holidays? Are you just trying to chill? How are we doing today? Hey, good morning, Kian. And you're just gonna chill, Kira. That's good. That is what we should be doing right now. Good to see you here today, Kian. And I did get your family tree, Kian, so I got that. So thank you. All right, we will have most of the time this morning to get caught up on all the other stuff as well. Let me get my reminder ready to send out here. All right, hope everybody's doing well this morning. Ready for our final class before the break, before the new year, so we can be done with this craziness of 2020. All right. So we'll give it about maybe 5 minutes here, see if we get some more people logged on, and then we will get started. While we're waiting, if you haven't already, you can pull up Summit for me and find checkpoint 1. Is that Mr. Shears I seen here today? Gracing us with his presence? Welcome. No worries, Keon. That is sometimes that's the best time to get work done. Smaj, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you, I think, maybe at all yet this term. That's good, brother. Good to hear it. Glad you were able to make it in today. All right, we'll give it about 3-4 more minutes, see if we get anybody else logged in. Let's send my reminder out. And then we will jump and get started again. If you haven't already, please head to Summit and pull up checkpoint 1. Make sure everybody in here has been assigned. Keon, I got you. Here, I got you. Samaj, I do not have you. So Samaj, I'm going to give you the Summit code so you can register for our class real quick. All right, Samaj, I'm going to put the Summit code for our class in the chat to you so you can log on to Summit and enter that enrollment code, and then you should be good to go. And I will assign you the project as soon as I see that you are in there. All right, hey, Alicia, good morning. Welcome to you. Right, now we are in the right spot. Amir, welcome. Good to see you today. Excuse me. All right, I'll give about another minute here and then we will get to it. Again, while you're waiting, if you haven't already, you can head to Summit, find our class, Creative Writing, and then you can pull up checkpoint 1. I'm going to share my screen in a second here. Morning, Jairi. Glad to see everybody here. The last day before break, last school day of 2020. All right, my friends. So good morning again. Welcome. Make sure we are recording here. Yes. All right. I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope everybody is excited for our much needed break. So I know I am. Happy holidays to all of you out there. But we have one more day today, okay? What I'd like to do is, since it's last day before break, keep it kind of low-key and just give everybody some time to get caught up on any work that they may be behind on. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over how to do checkpoint 1 again one more time. I know we went over this last class on Friday. So I'm going to go over it one more time again today, and then give you guys the rest of the morning to just kind of get caught up on that and or any other work that you still need to finish. All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. If you haven't already, I want you to head to Summit. I'll put this in the chat too. I want you to head to Summit and pull up checkpoint 1, which is called reading notes, like you can see on my screen right here. So if you have gone to your year view over here on the side and found our class creative writing, our project is homegoing, then you should see checkpoint 1 right here on the side. Click on that and then click on the link right here at the top, reading notes. It should bring you to a page that looks like this, right? And then this is what you should have pulled up. If you were following along on Friday, if you were with us, then you might have some of this filled in like I do on mine if you were following along already. Okay. So one more time, going to Summit. All right. Finding our class, creative writing. Checkpoint 1, reading notes, clicking right here. And then that'll bring you to this page, right? I'm gonna give everybody about another minute or two to pull this up if you still don't have it. Once you have it pulled up, please let me know in the chat by giving me a thumbs up or telling me that you got it. All right. Or whatever works. But let me know when you have this pulled up so I know we are all ready to continue on. Again, checkpoint 1, reading notes on Summit. All right, how are we doing? We finding this? We getting it pulled up? We need to maybe another minute. All right, I don't see anything in the chat, so I'll give everybody another minute. Again, when you have this pulled up, please let me know in the chat so I know we are ready to continue on. One more time, going on Summit on your year view, finding our class, creative writing. Our project is homegoing. Reading notes right here, checkpoint 1. Finding that, clicking on the link here, and then should take you to a page that looks like this. All right. If you were here on Friday, this should look a little bit familiar. When you have this pulled up, please let me know in the chat so I know we are ready to keep rolling here. Okay. If I don't hear from anybody in the chat, I'm going to assume that we are good to go. Right. But if you can, I'd like you to let me know so I can be sure that we're on the same page. All right, Jairi is on it. Thank you for responding. Everybody else, how are we doing? We're finding this. Yes. No questions, concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have this pulled up or you're still doing so, you still be kind of following along here. What we're doing on this checkpoint, if you remember from last class, is, as it's called in the title, reading notes. We are taking notes on each section of this book. Now, we have finished one section already, Effia. That's why last class we put a date in here, 12/22, which you can also go down and put above these boxes down here as well, 12/22. That's today's date, because I would have liked it to be done today. If it's not, that's okay. That's why we're spending some more time on it this morning, right? Hey, hi, good morning. Welcome. Let me make sure I mark you here. There we go. You are in the right place. Good job. Right. Again, those of you who are just joining us or are catching up, we should have checkpoint 1, reading notes opened up in Summit. Everybody in here should be registered, except I think for Samaj, but I did put the code in the chat. So if you registered, let me know and I will assign you real quick. Okay. But just to recap, what are we doing with this checkpoint if you weren't here on Friday, right? It's kind of spelled out for you here in these directions. There are 4 boxes. We're only going to focus on 3 of them. We're not going to worry about this last one where it says questions, responses. So don't worry about this one. We have notes, point of view, purpose, and quotes. The notes section is going to be where you're going to just give me like the who, what, when, where of the chapter. You can do that in bullet points. So you can see I've already started to do that here for the first chapter. Effia is the daughter of Kobe and Baba. She is born on the night that a fire destroys her family's yam crops. She is married off to James Collins, the British soldier. She goes with James to live in the Cape Coast Castle, right? Now there's at least 2 or 3 other big bullet points you could continue on with there. So that's what I'm going to be, that's what I'm going to be looking for when I check these, that you've added to what I have here, okay? So that's what we're going to do for the notes section, right? Questions on that? Right? What you're doing in the point of view purpose section. This is where our review about points of view and like first, second, third person will come into play, because this is where you're going to tell me in complete sentences which point of view this chapter is told from, whose kind of perspective do we get, and what is the author's purpose behind using this point of view for this chapter. And so I've kind of given you another starter here. I said this section is told from a third person omniscient point of view and gives us Effia's perspective. The author chooses to use this point of view to help the story by, then you would complete that, how does this point of view help the story? How does it impact the reader? What do we get out of having a third person point of view that tells us Effia's perspective? Okay. That's what you do here for this for this box. And then our last box, our quotes box. And good morning, welcome to Kareem. Thank you for joining us. Quotes box, this is where, like I said in my example, you're just going to find 1 to 3 quotes from the chapter that represent the most important moments from that chapter. So what are the big events that happen in this chapter? Find a quote that goes along with them to kind of explain what that is, right? And then, like I said, we're not going to worry about this last box, right? And that is pretty much it, ladies and gents. You're just filling out those 3 boxes only for the first section for Effia. And then if you do that, you are done with this checkpoint. Now, like I said, I have given you some kind of starters, some examples here. So when I check these, I want to see that you've added onto these. If I just see that you only have the examples that I've given you, then it will stay as yellow. Okay. So now if you're thinking, okay, this doesn't really ring any bells, I don't know how I would answer these, that might tell you that, hey, maybe I still need to get caught up on the story, okay? So to do that, there are 2 things I'm going to put in the chat right now, right? The first is a link to the Nearpod video, which is a video of the audiobook recording of the first chapter, along with some questions that accompany it that you can answer. Right? Now, this was also an assignment that was due. So while it will also help you, understand how to do the checkpoint, you also want to do it because it's now overdue if I don't have it from you. Okay. You can answer the questions right there on the Nearpod, and that's what I'm going to be going back over the break and checking to see who has answered those. Okay. The other thing
I
you
thought
can
it wasn't. I thought it wasn't due till January.
I was checking it for progress reports, but if you are able to finish it by the time we come back from break, that's still okay.
Okay.
All right. The other thing I'm going to put in the chat is the link to the PDF version of our story. So it's the same thing that you would hear on the Nearpod, except this is in PDF, like in written form. So if you work better, like visually reading it and following along that way, then you have the PDF version. If you work better listening, following along that way, you have the Nearpod. If you want to do both and listen as you read, hey Gianna, you can follow along with both. Okay. All right. So just to recap, for those of us who are just joining us or maybe join a little bit later, all right, what you should be working on today is either checkpoint 1, which I have on my screen right here, that we kind of started last class. And I will leave these examples up for a few minutes when I turn you guys loose. You can find that on Summit in our class. Should be the first one right here called Reading Notes. Right. If you are still behind on the story, then you want to click the links that I've put in the chat and go to the Nearpod. All right. And which would look like, sorry. You're going to go to the Nearpod, which would look like this. All right. And answer the question, answer these questions as you listen along to the audiobook recording. Okay? Or you can also use the PDF version that I've also put a link to the chat and kind of, just read along as well. Right. If you would like me to email you one or all of those links instead, if that works better for you, that is no problem at all. Just let me know. Okay. And again, what I should have from you to be all the way caught up in this class should be your family tree assignment, see that you've answered the Nearpod questions, and then now completed the first chapter for checkpoint 1. Right. So I'm going to leave my examples for checkpoint 1 up on my screen for a few minutes here to help all of you get started if you want to copy them down onto yours. And then, like I said, I'm going to be looking that you've added to these when I check these to turn it to green. Okay. If you have questions, if you're a little bit behind, I would recommend starting with the Nearpod and or going to the Yes Philly YouTube channel and watching the class recordings first to kind of see what we talked about in the last couple classes. And then if you still have questions from there, let me know, and you can come to the Summit Lab. We can do a breakout room. You can shoot me an email, um, whatever works best for you. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to you guys to get working on all of this stuff so whatever you need to get finished, now's the time to do that. I will be here if you have questions, and I will be checking in periodically as you go. Okay. I will be, perusing through Summit to check in on your checkpoints. If I see you guys are working on this, making progress, and doing a good job, then maybe we can get out of here a little bit early this morning. If not, then we will be in here for the whole time. Okay, that is up to you. But feel free to get to it. Whatever you know you need to work on, get started on. Now's the time. I will check back in a few and see how we're doing. All right. And I'll leave this up here for about another minute or two in case we're still copying some stuff down onto our checkpoint. All right. Good job. All right. I'm going to take these examples down. If you still need them, give me a shout and I can throw them back up as needed. All right. To answer your question, Kareem, about the Summit Lab, it is all you do is go to this same link that you use for this class between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. I will be there again today. And then you can ask any questions you have, get help with anything you need. In kind of a more like one-on-one setting. All right. And Samaj, I did see in the chat that you put that you enrolled in Summit, so I will assign you everything right now. Let me do that. And you should be good. Yes. All right, Samaj, if you refresh your page, you should be good now, and that checkpoint should pop up. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, I'll keep up the good work. I will check back in a few minutes and see kind of how we're doing here. All right. And again, if you know you are behind on some stuff in this class, don't waste this opportunity to get caught up. Make sure you're working on something. Sure, Cream. What do you want me to? What do you want me to email you? The class link, or do you have like a specific question, or do you mean like can I email you to remind you about the lab? I don't know. I don't quite know what you're asking here. Okay, so you're already in this class, right? So that tells me that you already have the link since you are joined in this class right now, right? So what I'm telling you is the link to the Summit Lab is the exact same link that you used for this class. So I shouldn't have to email you the link because you already have it because you're already in this class right now, right? Because the links to the Summit Lab are the same links for a regular class because it's just one link for each teacher. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Then we should be good. All right, y'all. Like I said, I'm going to check in about maybe another 10 minutes or so. I might be popping into your summits to see how you're doing on this. If you are not starting the checkpoint yet because you're catching up on the Nearpod or the story, then that is a-okay. All right. And again, all of these things should be done at the very latest by the time we come back from break. All right. So just keep that in the back of your head. All right. Good job today. All right, ladies and gents, checking back in. How we doing with this questions on the checkpoint? I'm starting to go through now and see how people are doing. Are we understanding what we need to do, what we need to get caught up on, questions on anything? Are we a little bit lost? Now is the time to let me know either in the chat or over your mic if you got them. All right. As I am, just a heads up, ladies and gents, as I'm going through Summit, I'm seeing a lot of blank checkpoints. So again, do keep in mind that these are going to need to be done when we come back from break. Now, like I said, if you know you are behind on the story and you're trying to get the Nearpod finished first, or something like that, that is fine. That may be what you're doing this morning. That's okay. All right. But if not, then make sure you are using your time effectively. You know what I mean? Because I am going to start updating Summit and giving people reds, greens, yellows, so on and so forth, probably at the end of the day today. So I will be checking in on these. All right. If you know that you would benefit from a little one-on-one extra help, please don't be afraid to come to the Summit Lab later today. I will be there from 1 to 3. It is the same link for that you use to get into this class. Okay. So don't be afraid to hit that up. All right. So let's keep working on this. All right. I'd like to I'll check back in about another maybe 10 minutes and then we'll wrap things up. I'd like to see at least something on some of your checkpoints between now and then. Hopefully, I'm going to put my examples back up so you can at least fill those in if you want, because then I can at least give you a yellow when I check these later today. Okay. So I will put those back up on my screen to help you get started on your checkpoint if you need. All right. And again, we'll check back in about like 9 minutes and wrap everything up. Hey, good morning, Manuel. Thank you for joining us. We are working on checkpoint 1 and anything else that we might need to be getting caught up on. I did get your family tree, so I have that. Oh, as quickly as he enters, he disappears. All right, ladies and gents, the rest of us, my examples are back up here. So if you want to copy these down onto your checkpoint so that you at least have these to get you started, I would recommend doing that before you leave today. Okay, we got about 10 minutes or so left. I'm going to check back in about 8 and kind of wrap everything up. All right, keep it up. Hello, hello. Just joined. So, hey, Med, good morning.
Hey.
We are just kind of getting caught up on stuff this morning. We're working on checkpoint one. I'm about to check back in here in about like 4 or 5 minutes with everyone and wrap up. So, checkpoint one is on Summit. It is reading notes. It's the one that's right here. And then if you click the link, it should look like this. All right. These are the examples that we got started with last class. So I have these up here if people want to copy them down into their checkpoint to get started. And then also, by the time we come back from break, we should have not only chapter one of this checkpoint one finished, but also the Nearpod questions and the family tree. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put all of that on Summit in the announcements page. So as you go on Summit, if you go on Summit during break at all, it will be up there so you guys know what we need to have done. Okay. So keep working on this. About 3 more minutes. I'll take this down and we'll kind of check back in, wrap up, and then that'll be it for 2020. All right. Good job today, though. And I will make sure I mark everybody here. All right, y'all. Hopefully you're still with us. So just to kind of wrap up here, again, what do we need to have done when we come back from break? All right. The family tree, all right, assignment, the Nearpod questions, all right, the link to those are in the chat, and also chapter one, the chapter one section of checkpoint one. All right, and remember, we're just focusing on the first 3 boxes. We don't need to worry about the last one. Okay. If you are behind and you're trying to get caught up, again, the best place to start is watching the YouTube videos of the class recordings because I talk about everything on there. I give examples. So that's the best place to start. And then if you still have questions after that, let me know. You can come to the Summit Lab, shoot me an email. All right. I will be in the Summit Lab today from 1 to 3. It is the same link that you used to get to this class. So if you want to join me there for some one-on-one help, feel free. Okay. And then, like I said, this should all be done when we come back from break, and then we will dig into the rest of our story and kind of the back half of this project. All right. Questions about anything? All right, awesome. Well, then, ladies and gents, what I would like you to do before we go is in the chat, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whether you understand what you need to have done and completed for, when we come back from break. Thumbs up meaning yes, I know what I need to do. I just got to get it done, no problem. Thumbs down meaning hey, maybe I need a little extra help. I might come see you in the lab. Right? You can tell me a yes or no as well if you can't do thumbs up, thumbs down, but if you can put that in the chat for me before you leave, I would appreciate it. Once I see it in the chat, then you are good to go for today. And you can move on to your break. So again, put that in the chat for me, please. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you understand what you need to have done and completed for when we come back from break? Right. Once I see that in the chat from you, then you are good to go for today. Haven't seen anything come in there yet, so make sure you guys get that up, please. That helps me help you guys. And then once I see that in there from everybody, you are good to go. Right? How are we doing? Have we all faded away too early here? Are we are we good on what we need to have done? Sooner you guys let me know, sooner we are done and out of here. But I want to hear from at least somebody, so I know that there is still some life out there. Kira says yes, thank you. All right, good job, Jairi. I'm good with everything. Thank you, my friend. All right, so Kira, Jairi, you guys are good to go. Enjoy your break. Stay safe. Thank you. Happy holidays. All right. The rest of us, so Med, Kareem, Amir, Maj, Ike, let me know if you guys are good with everything. Give me a thumbs up or yes or no. All right. If I don't hear from you in the next minute or two, then I'm gonna assume you're good, and I'm just gonna go ahead and end the chat. Right. But if you do have questions with anything, give me a shout. Come to the Summit Lab later today. That's the best time to get stuff figured out. Okay. How are we doing? Are we good with everything? We understand what we need to have done. If you can let me know that in the chat, then you are good to go. I don't need anything else from you today. All right, and just remember that this is all due when we come back from break. All right. I haven't heard from anybody that's still on here in a minute, so I'm going to assume you guys have either stepped away or that you're good to go. Okay. Have a good break. Be safe. Enjoy the holiday, and I will see you all when we come back. All right. Thank you guys. See ya.